Hey everyone, so we finally got access to this new hero Simma for the content creator perks. And so I've done some testing on her, and it's pretty interesting, to be honest. But let's go over her kit here real quick, and then I'll talk about some of the applications that I think she's going to have in the game. Okay, so she has a trait called Body of Endurance. It says, upon receiving an ability that applies negative effects, reduces the negative effects trigger by 75% and damage received by 40%. And then if she's ascended, she gets 15% bonus max health if that negative effect is not applied. So when I first read this, I had an inclination that it does not matter like how guaranteed a debuff is in regards to, if it's resistible, if it's 100%, it doesn't matter. What this trait basically reads is if anybody's trying to put a negative effect on her, it has a 75% chance to completely negate it. And through testing, this is actually true. So I did two main tests with this trait, and I'll show clips after we're done with the kit review here, and I'll show you. So the two main tests were Ashlyn, right? So everyone knows that Ashlyn has this 100% stun on her dark ultimate. So it says applies stun to the target, right? It doesn't say 100% or anything like that. It just says applies stun, so it's guaranteed. And everyone knows that you don't need focus to land this. So this was the first one that I wanted to test, and sure enough, Simma can actually negate this. So I'll show you that clip. So that's pretty cool. And then the other one is Desdemona, right? Because this is the other test that I wanted to see, because I think she's the only character, at least that I know of, that says cannot be resisted, right, in her kit. Nightmare cannot be resisted, and then Silence cannot be resisted. So I wasn't sure if Simma's trait was going to be different against things that said could not be resisted, like this unremovable. But she can completely block this. So her trait reads exactly as I thought it was going to, so that's kind of cool. She can completely disregard any kind of negative effect at a 75% chance. So that's pretty interesting. Really cool, unique trait. As for the rest of her stuff, it deals her basic deals 120% damage to one enemy and applies crit rate down to them for 2 turns. This is an odd basic. This could be something nice in the fire boss, but of course she's wood, so she can't really be used there. I will say the Rift of Chaos water boss does do reduced damage for each debuff on them, like unique debuff. So this is one of those unique debuffs that usually aren't involved in the water boss teams, so it could add a different element there to reduce some damage. She then has this special ability that says when an ally receives negative effects, Simma launches a counterattack with the special ability to deal 120% damage and randomly transfers one negative effect on one team member to the attacker, up to 1 time per round. Damage scales with her max health. So this hero is similar to like Geralt whenever he goes into his aura state, where his damage also scales with his max health. So she is similar in that way. Although I don't think you can really build her as a tank damage dealer or anything like that until she's booked, and I don't have access to that. So I was just testing out her trait and her counterattacks and stuff like that. But she could be a nice solid bruiser that helps keep your team, uncontrollable, which is really cool. I mean, a part of me wants to pull for this hero. I don't know if, when I would even book her. But anyway, so that is her special ability. And then her ultimate ability says deals 150% damage to one enemy and randomly transfers 2 negative effects on each team member to the enemy. Damage scales with this hero's max health and ignores 8% of the enemy's defense per negative effect transferred. This ability cannot be deflected. So, pretty cool, right? Her trait allows her to completely dodge negative effects. Doesn't matter if it's 100%, if it's unresistible. She has the ability to not have it affect her, 3/4 out of the time, 3 out of 4 times. And then she has the ability to transfer those negative effects back onto your enemy. So this is really neat. The ignoring 8% or whatever, that's kind of odd, but it is what it is. I do know that she's able to transfer the bomb debuff from the water boss back onto the boss, so that's kind of cool. So she does have some applications there as well. So the way that I have her built, here's her stats. So she's got, I just threw her in some random gear, 3,400 attack with some high health because her damage scales on the health. I can't really get her crit rate or crit damage up because she's not booked. I do have her in resistance. I'd obviously like to get this higher, but like I said, without books, I'm kind of limited on the stats I can get to her, but I just wanted to test out the theory of her trait and stuff like that. And then I just have her in, speed gear with crit rate, health, just random pieces, resistance, health, all that. So her glyphs, she gets 29 speed, 12.5% crit rate. She is an A5 Ascension, which obviously is pretty normal. And her A5 trait is actually pretty good. Gaining 15% bonus max health is pretty nice. This is going to happen most of the time, and being able to get 15% additional health really makes her a bruiser. It's pretty neat. Ideally, in RTA or Arena, you'll build her in Dragon Scale or something like that, just to have her be more of a bruiser type. She does not heal herself, which is something to mention, but being able to run her with someone like Mathasia or something like that, where they're trying to control Mathasia for the heals, this is another way, to avoid something like that happens. So that's that. And then her masteries are crit damage at the top, and then crit rate abilities instead of True Strike or something like that. So I would say this is pretty good. You want this in your bruiser types. It's much easier to get all the stats involved whenever you're getting crit rate percentage, and then it allows her to be run in PvE content as well without having to switch around the build. So pretty neat stuff. I think right now what we'll do is we'll cut to the clips, and I'll show you those, how she can dodge Ashlyn and Desdemona, and then we'll come back, and then I'll show you just some matches in regular Arena and how she can transfer debuffs, okay? So let's cut to the clips. Okay, so this first clip here is just going to show that she can resist, quote-unquote, this Ashlyn stun. You'll see that Ashlyn will target her because the stun doesn't land on anybody. So it's kind of awesome that she's one of the few people that can actually resist this stun, because there aren't many in the game. So here you go. And see, stun is on nobody. So she ended up dodging it. Okay, so in this clip, you're just going to see that she ends up dodging Desdemona's Nightmare and Silence. So I think whenever someone puts multiple things on her, it's just that one instance of the 75% chance to dodge all of it at the same time. At least that's what I see, or I just got really lucky dodging a bunch of negative effects, because she dodges the unhealable, Silence, and Nightmare. But that was another cool thing there, where she counterattacked and removed the stun from my hero and then put it back on Ashlyn. So she's a pretty good Ashlyn counter as well. So here you're going to see whenever the Desdemona goes, she's going to try and put up the Nightmare on Simma, but it doesn't apply. So she dodges the Silence, the Unhealable, and the Nightmare, which is awesome. I mean, Desdemona's an absolutely broken character, and the fact that they released a red, green, blue character that can kind of counter it a little bit is really nice. So I really like this hero. It's a pretty cool one to be sure. All right. So pretty cool, huh? So anyway, let's show like the transferring of debuffs and stuff like that. So right here, this is a pretty good team. So you have, Dark Hassel, you have Jonathan. All of these heroes are kind of nice. That send some debuffs our way. So we'll go in here and we'll do this. Let's just bring in like a kind of defensive team so we don't die. So I can show you these things. This is a kind of inopportune moment for me to showcase this because it is Arena Reset and I'm close to the top 10, but I'll do this one time for you guys so I can just show you. Okay, so something like this, right? Alrighty. So here, I think I'm just going to stun the Nero because I want to show you guys. I don't want to get locked out there. So there was a debuff that was placed on Ashlyn, right? The speed down because she stunned the Nero, and that's why she counterattacked there. And then put the speed down back up on Nero. So that's kind of neat. Because we don't have any debuffs, I'm not going to use her ultimate right now. I am just going to try and put like a crit rate down or something like that on Jonathan. Okay, nice. Oh, and one thing I didn't mention when I was going through her trait, in order to transfer the debuffs, she does need focus. But to cleanse everybody of the debuffs, she does not need focus. It's just to apply them back onto the other team is where she'll need it. So anyway, all right, let's speed through this here. Okay, so there's an unhealable. I actually shouldn't have taunted the Jonathan. Sorry. Okay, so we want Jonathan to go so we can show his attack down, defense down. And you'll see here, she has the chance to dodge this. So right there, everyone else got that stuff put back, like the defense down and attack down, but she dodged it. So pretty cool stuff. Ralph's resistance is much higher than Simma's, and he still got the debuff, so it wasn't a focus thing with Jonathan. It was just her trait having that 75% chance, to dodge everything. So we won't cleanse this stuff with Ashlyn because I'm going to show you how she sends this stuff back. All right, so I've got defense down and attack down, and watch, the ultimate is going to cleanse all of these things, at least the ones that are removable, back onto his team. Let's slow this down, and you'll see these go away. Right there. And right back on Jonathan. So pretty neat stuff. She's a cleanser. She can dodge stuff without needing resistance. It is RNG, but that's usually a good thing sometimes too. I think she'd probably be a good arena defense character. So that's pretty awesome from an arena standpoint. So I think she has some viability there. And then the other place that I think she has some viability is Rift of Chaos Water Boss, right? So I'll just show you what she can do in here. Maybe we bring in somebody like Jonathan and then Hagrin. Okay. So she has the opportunity and ability to dodge the freeze debuff. And then she also has the ability to transfer, like I said, the bomb back on the boss. So we'll just try and show those things here. So we won't have any freezes yet. Because we have enough buffs. So there's that crit rate down, which is reducing his damage from his AoEs by 5% for each one. Okay, let's see here. Just waiting for those, just waiting for the bomb to go up. So I can show you. And I think, you know, obviously, if she ends up being booked, she becomes another damage dealer as well. So it's a pretty interesting character. Alrighty. So this should be the bomb. Okay, perfect. So there, her counterattack, she ended up counterattacking and removing one of the bombs from Rachel already. But here, she'll be able to transfer all of the bombs, right, back onto the boss. Although I think they saw something like that coming where the bomb would do a lot of true damage or something like that. So that is the other application for her, is she can be a cleanser. She can dodge the freeze and then also be some kind of damage dealing unit at the same time. So I think she has a lot of applications currently. You know, it would be a nice hero to book in regards to using your resources, I guess, efficiently, because she can be used in PvP and Rift of Chaos. So pretty nice character. You know, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.